Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. DJ Peter Vass bringing this to our attention, guys. Google searches for Ripple are up by 82% worldwide in the past week. So this is a range from October 29th to November the 4th, and you guys can see the search for Ripple is up 82%. Significant. I mean, we did see a pump for XRP recently, although over the last few days we have seen that price of XRP kind of come back down again. Right now, XRP is trading at 47.1. So rebounding here, this is XRP on the hourly. What is looking like the beginning, hopefully, of what could be an inverted head and shoulders. We were hoping that we were going to maintain support here. We did not see that. It did break down all of yesterday. But what I'm assuming is that people's excitement over Ripple and XRP is still building. Again, that was a week-long period starting from, what was it, the 29th? Right in and around here. So I believe the majority of that of those searches probably happened when we did see XRP price rally by more than 10%, by more than 12% actually, 12.41% over that period of time. And guys, we're going to see this a lot more as more coins rally in price. And we might see them one at a time. I mean, XRP has had a good September. Not so much to write home about in October. We did see that most recent pump. Now we're down over the last couple of days. Nevertheless, a good start. But the partnerships, this is really what's going to drive the utility. This one from Matthew Lany, Council of Arab Central Bank and Monetary Authority Governors. They've just put out this recent report on central bank digital currencies. And this one in particular, not so much focusing on the need for a central bank digital currency, but more along the lines of payment modernization without the reliance of a central bank digital currency. And of course, we know the XRP ledger can facilitate these types of transactions, and you don't necessarily need a digital currency to do this. You can transfer anything of value, gold, whether it's fiat currency, really anything, real estate, bonds, stocks, right? It runs the gamut. And in this paper here, they do mention RippleNet as a solution, as a possible example of a solution. So this is payment modernization alternatives to CBDCs. There have been a number of efforts made aiming at payment modernization without reliance on central bank digital currencies. Many of these are incremental advances suggested by incumbent players such as Swift, but they do mention this here, RippleNet, and then down here, cryptocurrencies on a public distributed ledger technology platform. Ripple's XRP is listed as one of those examples. So not really a surprise, I mean, considering this is coming from the Arab central banks. The Arab region, the Middle East, a region of the world that Ripple has been concentrating on and has developed a lot of partnerships within. So that's interesting news. Wanted to thank Matt for posting that. I also saw this, guys, from Mike Manfield. Ripple partner AstroPay, the online payment solution of choice for millions of users worldwide, is delighted to launch its new product in Brazil, a MasterCard prepaid card. This move will provide both new and existing AstroPay customers with the ability to pay in any store that accepts MasterCard. The introduction of this new card in Brazil signifies a strategic relationship between MasterCard, a leader in global payments, and AstroPay, a fintech with the mission to ease users' life with the simplest, most convenient, and secure way of handling their money and getting the most value out of it. And so users, they'll be able to activate and use the prepaid card instantly without any charge and pay in any merchants that accept MasterCard. The card also comes with attractive benefits, including cashback and other perks available in the AstroPay platform. Users can use the physical card to pay in stores and withdraw money from any ATM, as well as make online payments with the virtual card. So Ripple partner AstroPay partnering up with another Ripple partner, MasterCard, in order to facilitate these types of payments. Again, the flywheel effect, expanding out digital payments. And also in part, I think this strategy has to do with education, getting more people accustomed to not using traditional banking methods and getting used to sending payments by other means. So this is happening in Brazil. Interesting news there. Wanted to thank Mike for posting that. And the Cryptic Poet bringing this to us, just in, Ripple partner Novati to launch International Bank of Australia. So this is coming directly from Novati's website here, guys. Published today, November the 7th. So we just recently heard about that news from Novati getting their banking license. Banking license granted by the Australian Prudential Regulation Authority. And so what's happening next? Business to be known as International Bank of Australia. So they are part of the International Bank of Australia. They hold a 91% interest in the International Bank of Australia. So Novati, a leading fintech that enables businesses to pay and be paid, is pleased to announce that its dedicated banking subsidiary, International Bank of Australia Payment Limited, has been granted the authorized license, which we talked about the other day. Managing director of Novati, Peter Cook, he said being granted the restricted banking license is a very significant milestone, and now their business can thrive. Here's a quote: "We see banking services as significant across card issuing, merchant acquiring, billing, and cross-border payments, as it underpins the infrastructure and capability of Novati's core payment business, while also giving us the ability to increase margins. The delivery of this license and now the launch of the International Bank of Australia has therefore formed a core part of Novati's growth strategy for so long. In addition, the bank also has a strong advantage of being able to leverage Novati's existing payment ecosystem and global footprint to help win customers quickly. So they're really building on that opportunity. The fact that they have that license, and probably one of the only, if not the only companies in the country, a fintech that does possess one of those. Novati holds a 91% interest in International Bank of Australia too. So these fintechs now quickly transforming, quickly morphing into banks. And this is definitely going to change the landscape for the future of finance. So an interesting piece of news there. I will link this in the description if you guys want to read the full report, but wanted to thank the Cryptic Poet for posting that. Darren Moore let us in on a new piece of news, guys. Just released on November the 1st, the Reserve Bank of India announced on Monday that it will begin a pilot launch with the digital rupee for specific use cases. Now, note what Darren says up here. Digital rupee project, Ripple-enabled banks. RippleNet ODL is a rail that I think these updated digitized systems will have the option of using. Why wouldn't they? Think about it. Trustless, faster, cheaper, more efficient. Plus, Ripple can loan for cheaper than central banks right now. And guys, take a look at some of these partnerships. HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra, and Yes Bank. These are all banks that are partnered with Ripple, and he also does mention down here that Chris Larson is on the DLT board. So he also just gives a reference to that latest piece of news coming out of India. I wanted to thank Darren for posting that. And Ripple partner Worldline is also in the news. Worldline to buy Banco Desio's merchant acquiring activities for $100 million. The company is aiming to bolster its position in the Italian market. It expects additional revenue of about 15 million euro after the deal's closure. So another Ripple partner expanding, obviously wanting to take more business. French payment service provider Worldline entered into a binding agreement for the acquisition of Italy's Banco Desio's merchant acquiring activities for $100 million. And here is a quote: "This operation is fully in line with our strategy to further expand our merchant service activities towards the south of Europe, and in particular in Italy, a highly attractive and strategic market for Worldline, where we intend to continue leveraging our footprint built last year through the acquisition of Expata Italy in early 22. This coming from Worldline's CEO Gil Grapinet. Announced on Monday, 100% of the bank's merchant acquiring activities will be obtained through the locally formed joint venture, Worldline MS Italy. The two companies expect to close the deal by the first quarter of 23, depending on regulatory approval. So boom, Worldline, Ripple-enabled, expanding their services into Italy, looking to purchase this particular Italian bank and looking to expand their revenue. Obviously, being able to leverage RippleNet, if not just for cross-border payments, but for other verticals that they may plan on developing in the future. This is all going to go towards their bottom line. A smart investment early on to expand the business later on. This is what we're seeing, guys. It's been a big theme in 2022, and it's looking like it's continuing into 2023. So great news there coming from Ripple partner Worldline. I'm going to keep going because I got some news, guys, touching a little bit on the SEC and where we're finding more collusion, more corruption. This from Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unboxed. JP Morgan has just completed its first ever cross-border transaction using Ethereum Layer 2 network. So get this, JP Morgan is in the news. This is from yesterday. Just going to skip the beginning part here. Now JP Morgan, one of Wall Street's biggest banks, led by outspoken Bitcoin and crypto skeptic Jamie Dimon, has completed its first ever cross-border transaction using blockchain-based decentralized finance DeFi in what's been called a massive step for the crypto space. Down here, they say this week JP Morgan completed its first live cross-border transaction on a public blockchain using the Ethereum Layer 2 network Polygon, designed to help Ethereum scale, and a modified version of the Aave protocol, a DeFi technology that allows people to lend and borrow without the need for a trusted third party. So here you have it, JP Morgan's first transaction on an Ethereum-based platform. Are you really surprised that this is the solution that they finally ended up going with? I'm not. I mean, we know the history with JP Morgan, the SEC, giving Ethereum a free pass. I don't really have to go over the details there. But in terms of that, Stefan Hubert finding even more info, this time implicating Charles Hoskinson. Okay, holy moly, look at that. That's probably one of the reasons why Charles Hoskinson is having an allergic reaction to ETHgate. Now, you guys remember, Charles Hoskinson came out, called the XRP community a bunch of conspiracy theorists. If you guys didn't catch the video I did on that, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. This is a few weeks ago now. Rachel Epstein worked for Aaron Wright, and as of January the 18th, as Director of Strategy at Consensus. So Stefan here, uncovering some more shady dealings, and since February of 22, she worked for Charles Hoskinson. So take a look at this, Rachel Epstein's LinkedIn profile. research assistant, first of all, for Cardozo School of Law. But then up here gets more interesting. Consensus from June of 2018 to January of 2019. And now Director of Government Affairs for Input, Output, IOHK, Cardano. And then we have this down here. Dwar will be a representative in Israel together with Rachel Epstein. So more connections to the Ethereum Alliance and Joseph Lubin. As Director of Government Affairs, of course, the whole ETHgate discussion is screwing up his lobbying efforts in Congress when he hired the former head of strategy at Consensus during the Hinman affair. She was working for the Brooklyn Project. So just highlighting that part of her resume down here. And I got to thank Tensla Gizla for tagging me in this because this is a huge find. Also wanted to thank Stéphane Hubert just for continuing his diligent work here, uncovering the scandal and shedding light where light needs to be shed. A lot of people still turning a blind eye, but can you? When this kind of information comes out, another great find here from Stéphane Hubert. Mother of God, this book blows my mind. Written in 1956. Get this, guys, and listen to this. C. Wright Mills describes how Sullivan and Cromwell, now we got to remember this law firm's been around for a while, is the law firm of the power elite and J.P. Morgan Chase. So this was documented in this book from 1956. Their close ties to the SEC and their chess move to consolidate their power, the 1933 Securities Act. And so, guys, this is one of those Audible books. I'm not going to play it. Not sure if I'm going to get a copyright ding, but I'm just going to read you guys some of the text from this. But I will link it in the description if you want to listen to the full clip. It starts off by saying the Republican administration seemed to favor investment firm of Cohen, Loeb, and the advertising firm of Patton Barton, Durstein and Osborne. Regardless of administrations, there has always been the law firm of Sullivan and Cromwell. Midwest investment banker Searston said that Arthur H. Dean, a senior partner of Sullivan and Cromwell of number 48 Wall Street, was one of those who assisted in the drafting of the Securities Act of 1933. The first of the series of bills passed to regulate the capital market. He and his firm, which is reputed as the largest in the United States, have maintained close relations with the SEC since its creation, and theirs is the dominating influence on the commission. There is also the third largest bank in the United States, the Chase National Bank of New York, now Chase Manhattan. Regardless of political administration, executives of this bank and those of the International Bank of Reconstruction and Development have changed positions. John J. McCoy, who became chairman of the Chase National in 1953, is a former president of the World Bank, and his successor to the presidency of the World Bank was a former senior vice president of the Chase National Bank. So that gives you guys a little bit more context, maybe why Sullivan, Cromwell, Bill Hinman, and those attached have such strong ties to the SEC. It was written in this book from 1956, and a huge shout out to Stéphane Hubert. I gotta say, all these pieces of the puzzle coming together, there really should be no doubt in any judge's mind that these ties, these connections, and this development, namely ETHgate, has been a plan from the beginning. That's just my opinion, and Charles Hoskinson, maybe you should take note, buddy. Anyway, I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.